This is going to be a step-by-step instruction video on how to fill out your activity log. We're shifting our entire wellness program over to this data management system called Smartabase. So everything that we used to do by filling out a physical copy is now going to be filled out using Smartabase. To begin, let's start out by logging onto Smartabase. We've covered this in other videos, but in your search bar, type in sac.smartabase.com/sacfit/pound login. And you should show up to this website here. Your username has already been assigned to you. It is your first name dot last name. None of the letters are capitalized, and it's your legal first name. Nicknames and abbreviations will not work. Your password has to be a minimum of 8 characters long. The first letter of your first name is capitalized. So type in your first name followed by the numeric code. If your first name is 5 or more letters long, add 1, 2, 3. If your first name is 4 letters long, add 1, 2, 3, 4. If your first name is 3 letters long, add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click login, and you should arrive at this page here. So again, this video is about filling out your activity log. Your dashboard is going to look a little different from mine, but nonetheless, on the top left on the screen where it says favorite tools, under there, find where it says activity log. Click on activity log, and you should arrive at this page here. Up here where it says date, this is going to be the date for which you're filling out your activity. So if you're filling it out for the current date, today, then no need to change anything here. But if you're filling it out for a previous day, then click on the box and then click on the date that you're filling it for. So if it was for last week, click the date that pertained to last week. Up here where it says from and to, you don't have to enter anything here. Now to begin, under activity 1, under start time, click the drop box and enter the time at which you started your activity. And then at stop time, enter the time at which you ended your activity. And then here under activity time, this is where it's going to show you how much time you spent working out. Now it's only going to show you the hours. So if you worked out for an hour 15 or an hour and a half, the system will still record it, but it'll only show you up to the whole hour. Now moving on to RPE, or your rate of perceived exertion. This is a 1 through 10 scale on how much you exerted yourself, where 1 is low intensity and 10 is high intensity. So if you did a stretching session, that's lower on the scale, or you can slide the bar to a 1, 2, or 3. And then for more resistance training or interval training, that will be higher on the scale, so you can slide that scale accordingly. Now for training code, read through the codes here. Metabolic, traditionally known as your cardio. Resistance training is also your weight training. And then you have your flexibility, your range of motion, your interval training, and some sort of corrective or core training. So enter the code that pertains to the type of activity that you participated in. So if you're only logging one form of physical activity for the day, then you can scroll to the bottom and click Save and Close. However, you do have the option to add a second form of activity. If you were participating in some sort of training with the crew and you exerted yourself to whatever degree, then you can type that in for your activity 1. And if you went back to the station and did some stretching or some light resistance training, then this is where you would add activity number 2. Follow the same instructions that we just covered for activity number 2, and then you can click Save and Close. Now here at the bottom of the screen, here you can see a history of all the activity logs that you have already entered. A running total of all your activity hours is being automatically tracked. As a reminder, you are required to accumulate 92 hours total of physical activity. All this will be displayed on something we call a dashboard. This here is a sample look of the dashboard. We're going to cover this in a lot more detail in a separate video, but nonetheless, we're going to be looking at your resting heart rate, the average over time. We're going to be looking at your sleep patterns over time, and then your urine color, which is an indicator of your hydration levels. And then also, this is where you're going to see how many hours you have already logged and how many hours you still need to log. But this whole dashboard is going to be covered in a lot more details in a separate video.